they're trying to not do that portion of their job. They're trying to say, okay, if we, institute the uniforms, then we don't have to worry about taking care of that anymore. So I don't know. I mean, I think that they're going about it the wrong way. I mean, I think that the idea behind it, to try and get people to get along is one of the theory, the ideas behind why they want to do it. Make everybody, more amicable, whatever. But they're going about it in the wrong way.
I would say moldable, more ambiguous. They're trying to train people to be more ambiguous, and they're making them look that way, which is a training concept within itself. From basic psychology, it's a training manual. If you're going to make someone feel and act and look ambiguous, they're going to act ambiguous.
Right.
They're not going to be creative. They're not going to be strong-willed on any aspect because they've been trained to be ambiguous.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's so much emphasis is put on the scores, the test scores, that administrators and teachers and whatnot, they're more focused on that than creating a whole person, shall we say.
And that whole person is the person that they're releasing into society. If you release a damaged person into society, you're going to get damaged product at the very end of it.
Exactly, but there's so much emphasis put on the test scores and so much. And I hate to say accountability is a bad thing, but in a way, it stifles a lot of other things. Should teachers be accountable? For sure. But to hold them to hold urban teachers accountable to a high extent on test scores, that creates exactly what you're talking about. It's making them look at the kids like they are a number. And ultimately, that's what puts that damaged product out into society, because these kids now have been pushed through a system worried about the number that they're putting out, and nobody's cared about their mental, well-being or their physical well-being for that matter, so long as that test score is showing it positively. So that's really what it's coming down to.
Isn't that a bureaucratic breakdown of pretty much, that's a bureaucratic representation of things like school uniforms in a public school. That's exactly what that is. That's not an emphasis on individuality or personal accountability. That's more along the lines of, well, the system says we deserve 85% or better, and you will all, at least, if you're not getting 85% or better, you're at least going to look like you get 85% or better.
I don't know. Is that what it is? I don't know. Is that what it is? I don't think that's what it is.
That's the way it looks to me. I mean, that's the way it looks from an outside view.
Yeah.
And then again, you have, and I hate to put my brother on blast, both of them, but school uniforms have done nothing. In all actuality, from my experience in school, and clearly from your cousins and my brothers, school is boring. Excessively boring. So boring, in fact, that not only do we have the ability to surpass any score that they give us, we don't care. There's no challenge. And we find other things to occupy our time, such as getting into trouble. In my case, joining multiple art classes and just being teacher's aide. I mean, I spent my senior and junior year, I spent 2 hours out of the day being a teacher's aide and 3 hours out of the day being in advanced art classes. And the rest of the day I spent in gym or rolling open pop cans down the hallway. Because I didn't have anything else to do.
Right.
I mean, and honestly, it's not that I didn't have supervision. It's that I videotaped them or took a mental photograph of someone's face and then drew it and then painted it in one of my advanced art classes, and they were like, "Oh, that's figure drawing." And I wouldn't draw the pop can falling next to anybody, but I would throw like a balloon. I actually, this is a true story. I drew a beach ball, and I actually got. It was in my sketchbook, and I drew this fool jumping over a beach ball. And in all actuality, the figure drawing was taken of him jumping over a pop can I threw down the hallway. It fosters the creativity, but it does not foster the expression of it. And I find that increasingly disheartening as we can... I mean, there's a direct correlation between creativity and invention.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, if people aren't inclined to explore or express new things, we're not going to advance technologically or as a species, period. And breaking us into a mold and just, force feeding the machine is not going to help us in any way. You're looking around like you're crazy.
Because you cut out and then I thought you were gone.
No, I'm not gone.
Sorry.
No.
Cutting out, and I was like, what
we're
and then
we're not live, but I guarantee you I'm not gone.
So it's just, and I've got a dog squeaking in the background. I apologize.
Trust me, I've got kids running around. I'm gonna have to mute out the background noise. It's gonna be hellacious for the next 45 minutes after we're done with this interview.
I got nothing.
Nothing? No.
Okay.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, look, okay. I lived with you in your back bedroom.
Yes.
But you fostered my creativity and my, and I worked with your husband for a while, and you've seen some of my earlier videos, which are hopefully not on the net anywhere, and they're. Me running around in my underwear, pressing ham on windows and doing crazy things. But, I mean, really, if I had not had the ability to express those individual ideas, I mean, where would I be now? This show wouldn't exist, that's for sure.
Who would you be?
I
don't even know what you would have turned into. You'd probably be in jail.
Without a positive outlet, see, there goes another point. No positive outlet for individual expression, and
right, because those things that you did, those things that the stuff that was on the videotape and those kind of things, those weren't things that were bad things. You weren't doing anything wrong. You were being silly, and you were just having a good time, and being a young adult. You know what I mean? And yeah, if you didn't think that was okay, and if you stifled that in yourself, yeah, I don't know, you're insane or in jail. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a little insane still, but
I'm eccentric. Eccentric.
Okay, I'm sorry. Eccentric. You're right.
There's a difference.
You're right.
Eccentric means I'm not homeless.
Oh, okay. Eccentric means I'm not institutionalized.
Yeah, exactly. Eccentric means I'm a functioning member of society that handles his craziness.
Well, there you go.
I can handle it.
I
can rein it in when I need to.
Right. And I think that does, it all kind of goes back to what you were talking about with uniforms and the stifling. You know, they want them to focus on school. They want them to focus on the books. They want them to focus on the learning. They don't want them to focus on themselves. And that's what it comes down to. And is that creating something in society that is less.
But those thought processes are less inclined to be creative. Is my main point. Is they are less inclined to be creative. They are less inclined to ask questions, whether it's just random stupid questions about why am I doing this, other than like Professor Michio Kaku, why can't I pass through solid matter? And it's a very fine line when you begin to cut out creativity, because those creative questions is what makes us, human. Without the why, we're not humans. We're just clever monkeys.
Yeah. That's
without
true.
the why.
That's true, and that is stifled a lot. And I always. All right, this might be silly, but I hated math. Always hated math. Math was stupid, and etc. And I know a lot of people feel that way. I don't feel that way anymore, because when I went to school, I went to college, and I had my first math class, and was like, oh fuck. And excuse me, I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So
we're allowed to cuss on my show.
I was not excited, but the math classes that I had to take were math for elementary school teachers, and because they were that, it was really them getting in depth as to the why. Why does 2 + 2 = 4? And I know that sounds really stupid, but I really wanted to know. And I didn't know until I was in my 30s and in college that the reason I hated math is because nobody would tell me why. Nobody ever said why.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of creativity. That's part of fostering what you will be. In your 30s, early to mid 30s, you shouldn't have to ask why. You should know the answer. We should have been explained. Why am I curious as to how the system works? And I start looking into why the government system works, and I find out that the why is the money. If you have money, system works. If you don't have money, don't mess with the system. Don't mess with it. It's like, you get your Obama phone. Get your Obama phone. And I find that disheartening, because all of us, everyone should know the why, and everyone should know the how come. How come? These are 2 videos that I've seen, and I don't mean to cut you off and plug these. Why are they spraying, and what are they spraying? My fingers are out the screen. Why are they spraying, and what are they spraying? All right. And I didn't understand that contrails were, sodium dioxide and these dangerous things. But my mind always wondered why. What are those lines? What are those clouds? And then I find out they're not clouds. I hear it on the regular news channel. What are GMOs?